The consciousness examen is a prayer recommended by Ignatius to the Jesuits to help them become more contemplatives in action. It's a 15-minute prayer done twice a day to enhance the sensitivity to notice God's movements in one's daily life. There have been many variations on the steps of the consciousness examen. For our purposes in ASMPH, we would like to recommend these 5 steps in this particular order. We start the prayer with thanksgiving. We thank God for all the blessings we have received from the last time we did the examen to the current moment. We recognize the gifts, whether they're big or small. We list as much as we can. The first step of thanksgiving reminds us to be humble and to recognize that what happens to us is not just because of our own doing and of our own effort. That we have been gifted with so much blessings that we have to be grateful. It is a humility brought about by thanksgiving. The second step is begging for the grace to see ourselves, know ourselves, and understand ourselves the way God sees us, knows us, and understands us. Sometimes we become too hard on ourselves and we focus on our faults and unworthiness. This second step invites us to see God looking lovingly at us, looking at us with so much love and acceptance that He created us in His image and likeness, and therefore we are good. We are worthy. We are loved. We are beloved. In the third step, we are asked to review our day, to look back at the events of the day and the feelings that we felt during the time since our last examen. Here we focus on inner movements and ask ourselves if they brought us closer to God, closer to our goals, closer to the people we were intended to be. Or have these inner movements brought us farther away? Ignatius calls these movements consolations and desolations. By doing this regularly, we become more sensitive to such movements as they happen. This practice makes us more sensitive on how God moves in our daily lives. The fourth step is reconciliation. Here we are asked to acknowledge the times when we chose to go farther away from God, farther away from our goals, farther away from the people we were intended to be. We say sorry for all these and we ask for forgiveness, and we try to forgive ourselves. The last step is hope. As we look to the future, we end by acknowledging our hopes and dreams. We share our petitions. We pray to be more sensitive to the inner movements happening in us, to be more sensitive to God's movements as we go through our lives. We hope to be more loving. We hope to be more Christ-like. We hope to be more Magis. After the 5 steps, you may wish to end with an Our Father to close the prayer. Ignatius recommends the consciousness examen as a twice-a-day prayer for the Jesuits. And in our experience, doing it even once a day helps us become more aware of where we are and where we want to go. Makes us more aware of who we are and who we want to be. The consciousness examen is a wonderful tool to get to know more of ourselves. We could assess how we manage the different aspects of our lives. We can look at the different relationships we have with the people around us. And we could see how we react and how we respond to the different events in our world. And by doing it regularly, we could make sense of everything happening to us. We could make sense to everything happening around us. So here are the 5 steps of the consciousness examen again. Step 1, thanksgiving that leads to humility. Step 2, grace to accept that we are beloved. Step 3, review the inner movements whether they bring us closer or farther away from our goals. Step 4, reconciliation to get us back on track. And step 5, we hope for a better tomorrow. We invite you to practice the consciousness examen as often as you can. It is our hope that this practice helps you in your journey in ASMPH, helps you in your journey in life.